Geography first lesson, India, location, relief and drainage. Boys, have you ever wondered how many countries are in world? There are 195 countries. Among us, India ranks 7th largest country. India ranks as 7th largest country in the world. In Asia, there are 49 countries. India stands 2nd largest country. India is a peninsular country. Peninsular means one land surrounded by water almost or 3 sides. Land surrounded by water on 3 sides is called peninsula. India's neighboring countries are Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, China, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar and Sri Lanka. Location and extent. India extends from 8 degree 4 north to 37 degree 6 minutes north latitudes and 68 degree 7 minutes east to 97 degree 25 minutes east longitudes. Boys, you can take your atlas and check this degrees and minutes. In the two sides of your atlas, they mentioned these degrees and minutes. Okay. Hence, India is located in the northeastern hemisphere. Now, India is located in the northeastern hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of the country, dividing into two halves. Tropic of Cancer divide our country into two halves. Before that, you have to know about what is Tropic of Cancer, what is equator and what is Tropic of Capricorn. Now we are going to see about that, okay. Boys, in the world map, there are 3 horizontal lines, yes or no? See this picture, first picture, there are 3 horizontal lines in red color. See the first line, that is Tropic of Cancer. See the second line, equator. This equator divides our world countries into two halves. Third line, Tropic of Capricorn. Now see the first one, Tropic of Cancer. See where our India is located. See this picture. This Tropic of Cancer divides India into two halves, okay. Tropic of Cancer divides India into two halves. Equator divides world countries into two halves, okay. The southernmost point of the country is called Indra Point. This Indra Point located in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The southernmost point of mainland of India is Cape Comorin, that is Kanyakumari. What is the southern edge of our country? Cape Comorin, that is Kanyakumari. The north-south extent of India is 3,214 km and it extends from Indra Kool in Jammu and Kashmir in the north to Kanyakumari in the south. So see here, see this picture. In this map, where is Indra Kool? See, in Jammu and Kashmir, Indra Kool is located. Yes. So this north-south extent of India is 3,214 km. See this line. How many kilometers? Indra Kool to Kanyakumari, 3,214 kilometers. The east-west extension is 2,933 km. It stretches from Rann of Kutch, Gujarat in the west to Arunachal Pradesh in the east. So, how do we measure our east-west extension? Yes, from Rann of Kutch, that is Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, okay. So, how many kilometer? 2,933 kilometer. How do we measure our north-south extent? From Jammu and Kashmir, that is Indrakol to Kanyakumari. How many kilometers? 3214 kilometers. Next we are going to see about Indian Standard Time, that is IST. What is the abbreviation for IST? Indian Standard Time. The longitudinal differences between Gujarat in the west and Arunachal Pradesh in the east is about 30 degree. So, what is the differences, time differences between Gujarat and Arunachal Pradesh? 30 degree. Since Arunachal Pradesh is towards east, it will have sunrise about 2 hours earlier. Arunachal Pradesh is located in the east side. So, before 2 hours, the sunrise will arrive. In order to avoid these differences, Indian Standard Time is calculated. So, to avoid these differences, Indian Standard Time, that is IST, is calculated. This IST is 5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time, that is 5.5 hours. Okay. 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. What is Greenwich Mean Time? GMT, that is World Standard Time. Okay. This IST, our country's IST, Indian Standard Time, is 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. Major physiographic divisions of India. Boys, in our book, there are only 5 divisions. Okay. First one is Northern Mountains, that is Himalayan Mountains. Second one is Northern Plains, that is Great Northern Plains. Third one is Peninsular Plateau. Fourth one is Coastal Plains. And fifth one is Island. Now we are going to see in detail one by one. The Northern Mountains, that is Himalayan Mountains. The Northern Mountains consist of the youngest and the loftiest mountain chains in the world. This Himalayas is considered as the very youngest mountains in the world. It was formed only few million years ago. This Himalayan mountains was formed few million years ago. The width of northern mountains varies from 500 km in Kashmir to 200 km in Arunachal Pradesh. In Kashmir, 500 km width, and in Arunachal Pradesh, 200 km width. The Bamir Knot, popularly known as the roof of the world, is the connecting link between the Himalayas and the high range of Central Asia. What is the another name of Bamir Knot? Roof of the world. The term Himalaya is derived from the Sanskrit word. It means abode of snow. It is nothing but fully covered with snow. Okay. The northern mountains, that is Himalayas, is grouped into 3 divisions. First one is Trans Himalayas, second one is Himalayas, third one is Eastern Himalayas. The Trans Himalayas. The prominent ranges of Trans Himalayas are Zanskar, Ladakh, Kailash and Karakoram. These are all the mountain ranges. Next one, the Himalayas. It is the home of several peaks out of 14 peaks around. So, this Himalayas is the home of the several peaks out of 14 peaks. This Himalayas further classified into 3 types: Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas and Outer Himalayas, that is Shivalik. The Greater Himalayas are Himatri, Lesser Himalayas are Himachal, Outer Himalayas are Shivalik. The Greater Himalayas are the Himatri. The Greater Himalayas rise abruptly like a wall north of the Lesser Himalayas. The Greater Himalayas are about 25 km wide. What is the wide of Himalayas? Greater Himalayas 25 km. Its average height is about 6000 meter. Its height is 6000 meter. The Greater Himalayas receive lesser rainfall. This Himalayas receives very less rainfall only. The notable peaks are Mount Everest and Kanchenjunga. Famous peaks are Everest and Kanchenjunga. Second one, Lesser Himalayas or Himachal. It is the middle range of the Himalayas. Height of this range varies from 3700 to 4500 meter. Its width varies up to 80 km. It receives more rainfall than Himatri. So what is Himatri? The greater Himalayas. Okay, it receives more rainfall. This lesser Himalayas receives more rainfall than Himatri. Major hill stations of the Himalayas are located in this range. Shimla, Mussoorie, Nainital, Darjeeling are the famous hill stations located in this lesser Himalayas. Next one, outer Himalayas, the Shivaliks. The Shivaliks extend from Jammu and Kashmir to Assam. The width of Shivalik varies from 10 km in the east and 50 km in the west. Purvachal Hills. Most of these hills are located along the border of India and Myanmar, while others are inside India. Manipur Hills, Mizo Hills and Tripura Hills. Most of these Purvachal Hills located along the border of India, that is Manipur Hills, Mizo Hills and Tripura Hills. Importance of Himalayas. Himalayas block southwest monsoon winds and cause heavy rainfall. These mountains block the southwest monsoon, so only we can get the heavy rainfall in that region. It forms a natural barrier. It is the source for many perennial rivers like Indus, Ganges and Brahmaputra. What is the perennial river? Always flowing water, that is called perennial river. The North Mountains are described as a paradise of tourists due to its natural beauty. This place consists of many natural resources and many natural beauty. So, these mountains described as the paradise of tourists. Many hill stations and pilgrim centers are located here. It provides raw material for many forest-based industries. It prevents the cold winds blowing from the Central Asia and protects India from severe cold. These Himalayan mountains prevents heavy cold wind. Okay, so only India protected from that severe cold. Himalayas are renowned for the rich biodiversity. Himalayas are known for its rich biodiversity. The Great Plains. It is deposited by the rivers Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra and their tributaries. The length of this plain is about 2400 km and width varies from 240 to 320 km. The important characteristic features of sediment deposition in the plains areas as follows. So, sediment, according to the sediment deposition, there is 5 major categories are there: Bobber Plain, Tarai Plain, Bangar Plain, Kadar Plain and Delta. Bobber Plain. This plain is made up of gravels and sediments deposited by the Himalayan rivers. Tarai Tract. It is a zone of excessive dampness, thick forest and rich wildlife. Bangar Plain. Boys, this is a very important one mark question. This Bobber Plains formed by the older alluvium. Okay. Kadar Plain. This Kadar Plain formed by a new alluvium. So, older alluvium is Bangar, new alluvium is Kadar. Repeatedly match the following question. Okay. Older alluvium is Bangar, newer alluvium is Kadar. Delta, triangle shaped fertile land at the mouth of Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers is called the Sundarban Delta. It is the biggest and fastest growing delta. Triangle shaped delta is called Sundarban. It is the very richest and fast growing delta. On the basis of deposition of sediments by various rivers and topographical characteristics, the northern plains of India divided into following 4 major regions. Rajasthan Plains. It is located to the west of Aravalli range. In Rajasthan, there is one mountain range is there. Name is Aravalli range. It covers an area about 1,75,000 square kilometer. Rajasthan plain is formed by the deposition of river Luni. It is formed by the deposition of Luni river. The Thar Desert, also known as the Great Indian Desert, is a large arid region in the northwestern part of Indian subcontinent. What is the very largest river in India? Desert in India, Thar Desert. There are 2 major divisions in the Thar Desert. There are as the actual desert region and semi-desert region. So, what is the divisions of Thar Desert? Actual desert region, semi-desert region. Punjab Haryana Plains. It lies to the northeast of the Great Indian Desert. Ganga Plain. It extends from the Yamuna river in the west to Bangladesh in the east. Next one, Brahmaputra Plains. It is located mainly in the state of Assam. This Brahmaputra Plain located in the Assam. It is low level plain located in the eastern part of the Great Plains of India. Next we are going to see about the peninsular plateaus. The plateau region lies to the south of the Great Northern Plains. This is the largest physiographic division of our country. It covers an area of about 16 lakh square kilometer. This peninsular plateau covers how much area? 16 lakh square kilometer. The peak of Anaimudi is the highest point of this plateau. Its height is 2695 meter and is located in Anaimalai. This Anaimudi hills located in Anaimalai. The river Narmada divides the plateau region of India broadly into two parts. The region lying to the north of the Narmada river is called Central Highland and south part is called Deccan Plateau. So north part is called Central Highlands and south part is called Deccan Plateau. Narmada and Tapti are the two rivers situated in the Vindhyas. River mountain Vindhyas and Narmada river is located in Vindhya hills. Tapti river is located in Satpura hills. Okay. Next one, Central Highland. The Central Highlands extend between the river Narmada and the northern Great Plains. Guru Shikhar with 1,722 meter is the highest peak in this range. In this range, Guru Shikhar is the highest peak. The Deccan Plateau. This physiographic division is the largest part of the plateau region of India. The shape of this plateau is triangle. One of the sides of this triangle is marked by the line joining Kanyakumari. So this is triangle in shape. Then how many sides? 3 sides. One side is connected with Kanyakumari with Rajmahal hills and second arm is marked by Satpura range. Second one is connected with Satpura hills. Third one is connected with Western Ghats. The area of this plateau is about 7 lakh square kilometer. Height ranges from 500 to 1000 meter. So how many square kilometer? 7 lakh square kilometer. Next one, coastal plain. The peninsular plateau of India is flanked by narrow coastal plains of varied width from north to south. The Indian coastal plains are divided into following two divisions, Western coastal plain and Eastern coastal plain. Western coastal plain, it lies between Western Ghats and Arabian Sea. Boys, don't forget, this Western coastal plain lies between Western Ghats and Arabian Sea. It extends from Rann of Kutch in the north to Kanyakumari in the south. Next one, Eastern coastal plain. It lies between Eastern Ghats and Bay of Bengal. Okay, don't forget, this Eastern coastal plain lies between Bay of Bengal and Eastern Ghats. Among the backwater lake of this coast, Lake Chilka is the largest lake. Kolleru Lake, which lies between the deltas of Godavari and Krishna, and Puliket Lake lies in the border of Andhra Pradesh in Tamil Nadu. The islands. India has two major island groups, namely Andaman and Nicobar. The former group consists of 572 islands. Andaman consists of 572 islands. Nicobar consists of 27 islands. Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The area of the island group is about 8,249 square kilometer. The 10-degree channel separates Andaman and Nicobar group. The southernmost tip of this island is Indra Point, is located in Nicobar Island. Next one, Lakshadweep Island. This is a small group of coral islands located in the west coast of India. Kavaratti is its administrative capital. Pitt Island of this group has a bat sanctuary. So Pitt Island is the bat sanctuary. It is located in Lakshadweep. Besides the two group of islands, India has a number of islands along the western coast, eastern coast and many delta regions. Next one, the drainage system. Indian rivers are classified into Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. These Himalayan rivers originated from Himalayas. These all are the perennial rivers. What is perennial? Flows throughout the year. Under these Himalayan rivers, three rivers are there, Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. Under this peninsular rivers, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Narmada and Tapti are there. First we are going to see about the Indus river system. The Indus river is one of the largest rivers of the world. It originates from the northern slope. The major tributaries of Indus river is Jhelum, Sena, Ravi, Sutlej, Beas. Next one, the Ganga river system. The Ganga river system is the largest drainage system in India. The combined river of Ganga and Brahmaputra creates the world's largest delta known as Sundarban. This river forces Ganga and Brahmaputra join together and create one delta. That delta name is Sundarban. Next one, the Brahmaputra river system. The river Brahmaputra originates from the glacier of the Kailash range to the east of Lake Manasarovar in Tibet. So, in the east side, east of this river, one lake is located. What is the name of that lake? Manasarovar. This river is called as Jamuna in Bangladesh. After it joins with river Ganga in Bangladesh, the river is called Magna. So, before joining Bangladesh, this is called Jamuna. After joining Bangladesh, this is called Magna. Peninsular rivers. The rivers in the South India are called the peninsular rivers. South Indian rivers are jointly together and called peninsular rivers. These peninsular rivers are divided into two types, west flowing rivers and east flowing rivers. East flowing rivers, first one Mahanadi. The river Mahanadi originates near Chhattisgarh. Godavari. Godavari is the longest river. It is also called Vridha Ganga. What is another name of Godavari? Vridha Ganga. Krishna river. It flows through Andhra Pradesh and joins in the Bay of Bengal. Kaveri. The river Kaveri originates at Talakaveri, Kudagu hills of Karnataka. The Kaveri breaks at Srirangam Island with two channels. Kaveri divides the Srirangam Island into two channels, river Kolannon and Kaveri. West flowing rivers. First one Narmada. This river rises in Amarkantak Plateau in Madhya Pradesh. Its principal tributaries are Banjar, Dudi and Shakar. Tapti. The Tapti is the major rivers of peninsular India with length of 724 km. Characteristics of South Indian rivers. These rivers originate from Western Ghats. These all rivers originate from Western Ghats. These rivers are short and narrow. These all rivers are non-perennial rivers. Opposite of perennial is non-perennial. What is perennial? Flowing water continuously, that is called perennial rivers. Suitable for hydropower generation. What is hydropower generation? Taking electricity from water. Not useful for navigation. These rivers not useful for navigation system. Thank you.